Has producing and creating films gotten easier with the advancements and innovations of technology, or is it relatively a style that has remained untouched by that?
Oh, it's definitely changed dramatically. And in some ways, I would say yes, easier, cheaper, a lot more access. But that makes it harder in some ways too, because then there's so much saturation and so many people making films. And so I feel the technology and the ability to make films has definitely become much more accessible. The distribution networks are completely falling apart right now with all the streamers taking over and the studio systems really crumbling. The pipeline to getting movies into the world is breaking into bits. And so I think it's this time where independent film is starting to take on new meaning. And with Ingress, so much of our marketing, we did a theatrical release ourselves. We retained the theatrical rights, and we did that just by cold outreach to independent theaters in Santa Fe, where I grew up, all around the Seattle area, in LA, the Lemley Theater, just reaching out and saying, hey, we have this movie. Could we show it for a night or a week or two? And so many of them said yes. So we ended up in 10 theaters. Then we did all the marketing ourselves, and we started building community and just being specific about who is this movie for, and really tapping into that metaphysical community in different places who don't get marketed to a lot. So I think that's where it's changing. We're like, well, the film's done. Here you go, distributor. Send me my checks. Right. That's definitely that does not work anymore. So now it's you are a filmmaker, you are a producer, you are a marketer, you are a distributor, you are audience builder, you are community steward. It's beginning to end like you're taking that film all the way across the line.
Yeah.
Because no one knows about it. No one knows it better than you, and no one cares about it as much as you. Even if you have a distributor, you're still doing that work.
Yeah, well, I think too, to get people into a movie theater itself is probably enticing for movie theater owners, because so many people have a cell phone, you got your computer, you can sit at home, you don't have to go anywhere so much anymore. So having that cinema experience, get your popcorn, get your soda, and watch a movie. I mean, I'm 51, so I know what that experience is like, and there's nothing like it.
Totally. Well, and the independent movie theaters are struggling just as much as independent filmmakers right now. People are really not going to see movies anymore.
No.
And the studios have made it so hard, because what they'll do is they'll say, hey, you want the new Marvel movie at your tiny, tiny cinema? Well, that's the only thing you can show for 6 weeks while you have it. And then they give them like pennies. If they sell 100,000 tickets, they get the tiniest amount of money. And so much of that just goes back to Disney or Sony or whatever. So they're struggling in the same way. And so I think I've been seeing new models coming to form, and just what my experience, which is independent filmmakers connecting directly with independent theaters to bring great independent films to audiences and cutting out all of the noise, because these big players, they're just not in it for the art, and they're not in it for the little people. They want to make all the money themselves. And so filmmakers aren't making money anymore off of deals they use. It's a wild world right now. But I think ultimately this is positive, because these systems have to break apart. Something new has to grow. But just we're right in the midst of it right now. So it feels very like, where do we put our feet?
You're gonna have to build a movie theater up in your city now, because then you have Ingress Studios. You put it right. We got our movies right here all the time, baby.
That's right. Exactly.